Mo, where are you? Are we live? Are we live? Oh my bad.
No, I'm over
No
here laughing.
no intro or anything. We just on here like Bing, come on in. Well, hello everyone. Y'all, we using a new platform, and although I like it, it's a little learning curve we got going on. Morgan, sweetheart, I can't even see you anymore. I used
I
to
was gonna
see
say
you,
I
now I
keep.
don't see you. Welcome everybody to the Boss Ladies Lounge. We are happy that you are here. I'm trying to get my devices together. It was connected to Facebook. Now it's not connected to Facebook. It's just giving me grief today, but it's all good. That must mean that this is
Okay.
going to be an amazing show. That means that we're going to have great discussion. So, as you see on the screen, I'm April Anderson, and here we are on House of Peach presents the Boss Ladies Lounge. How was your weekend? Tag someone, share this out, let them know. I'm going to get my devices here because I want to be able to see what's going on and share it on my page. Look at there. It's on House of Peach right now, live. So I got to share this. Morgan, why is it that I can see you on Facebook, but I can't see you on one stream? What's the deal? Like I
Look,
can
I
see
keep.
you. If I'm looking at my phone at Facebook, I see you clearly. And on here, the screen is absolutely blank. Y'all, somebody help me. Help me. Oh my God. Anyway,
Well, I
that's
keep
not fair. Now I
freezing
gotta,
on
if
this
I want to
end.
look at you, I gotta look over here and look at you. I can't. Y'all, we're going to get this together and it's going to be phenomenal. But what I need you to do, I'm getting ready to share this on my page so I can have it on my page. Morgan has probably shared it on her page. So we are all here. But we just need you to share this out, to tag someone. I can't tag anybody right now because I'm too busy trying to figure out what the heck is going on with my page. But that's okay. That's all right. Hello, hello. Oh my God, Maybach, how are you? Morgan keeps freezing up. So everybody can see Morgan except me. Why is that? So I'm sitting
I
here
can
acting
see
like I'm
you.
talking to myself. That's not how I want to do that. At any rate, I'm happy y'all are here. I'm happy that you're here. I want you to share, tag, let people know that the Boss Ladies are on, and we have a great topic. And you would not believe this, but this topic just hit me today. And I thought that I was going to do my own live with this one day this week. No, sweetheart, I can't hear you either. But I'm sure everybody can hear me. Like y'all can hear me, right? I'm sure you can hear me. But
Can they
I
hear me?
cannot. I cannot. All this is all out of whack, but it's okay. So this topic, and I don't even know how we're going to talk about it if I can't hear her. So, so we're gonna try it again. So Morgan's gonna come back in again. However, let me talk about what we have going on here. So this is the Boss Ladies Lounge where we discuss everything dealing with life, dealing with relationships, dealing with business. You name it, we discuss it. There's nothing off the table. So we are back. We came back in January. We revamped everything, got a new name, new perspective, all of that. And so now we are coming live every single Monday. You see, this is Monday, not our normal Tuesday that we did last season. Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then 543. I don't know, the time just changed. I don't know if it's 3 or 4 o'clock in Pacific, but you can hear us. Okay, that's perfect. I don't know what the deal. I don't know. I'm not even going to try to figure it out. But guess what? That's not going to stop anything. We're going to keep going and we're going to have a good discussion. Now, with us utilizing this new platform, that means that if you put a comment in, more than likely we can see it ourselves to be able to respond. I love interaction. When I teach Bible study, I ask questions. I like there to be interaction because then it's like me lecturing in class, and I don't even do that in class. I ask students questions. So we're going to have a good discussion here. Every Monday we come. The last Monday in every month, it's still our He Said, She Said segment. The last Monday, we talk about all kinds of things, and we bring the men in to have a male perspective because usually it's a relationship thing or a business thing, something of that nature. All right.
Can you see me now? Can you hear me
We're
now?
going to see if we can get Morgan in here because I don't see her there. But in the comments, because I want to do a test. I want to do a test and see if you are watching. Can you do me a favor and put something in the chat so I can see it? Well, what is wrong with me? Why can't I see? Everybody can see but me. Isn't that something? Well,
Yeah, I'm
I
talking.
can't.
You can't
Yes, I
hear me?
can't hear. I can't hear you. Can't see you, but you're in there. And so when we do
Can they
this,
hear me?
it's just me and there's nothing else on the screen. I don't know. It's my fault. I am the weak link. Maybe I should go out and come back in. Morgan, bring Morgan on and take me out. Yeah, someone said they could hear you. They
Yeah.
said, the Maybach said that they could hear you. He see and hear. I don't know. Help me. Should I leave? Should I go out and come back in?
Yeah, you go
Oh,
out.
so it's against me today. Well, how about this? I'm going to go back to House of Peach page and I'm going to look at this and I'm going to exit out and let Morgan take it. And then I'm going to come back in. Morgan, are you on where you can do that? My feelings are hurt. It is a test stream. I don't like it. Not one bit. I like things to be right. I want it to be done. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right, let's see. And Morgan, I see you laughing. Not cool. Not cool at all. I see you. Just tickled. All right. So I'm going to exit out. Morgan, you take it, and then I'm going to come back in. All right. So let me exit, and then I'll come back in.
Oh my goodness. Listen, when you don't know what else to do, my rule of thumb is to laugh. And to be honest, I hope that you guys can hear me because on my screen, I am now all the way frozen. So it's just gonna be one of those nights and it's all good. You know what I mean? It's ain't it Monday? What day is it? Is it Monday? Yeah, it's Monday. This is, it's a Monday and Monday. Okay, yes, so you can hear me. And I'm not freezing because I am freezing on my end, but we will we'll see how this goes. Uh he said yes. Okay. Yes, April is definitely she's comfortable with things. So, okay, now she came back in. We will see how this goes. Okay, you can see me?
I can see you and I can
Oh,
hear
and
you.
you can hear me. Okay, yes, we're getting somewhere.
Yes, I am comfortable at talking. I am. I'm going to make it work. I'm going to make it happen. We're just going to flow. We're going to roll with the punches. We're going to laugh a little bit and we're going to have a good time. All right, Morgan, now I'm done talking because they clearly could hear you. And here I was thinking, well, what's going on?
I
This
know. I kept trying to talk to you too, and I was like, she apparently doesn't hear me.
didn't hear you, didn't see you, didn't even know you existed on this screen. However, all I had to do was go out and come back in. So now we're good.
Okay.
All right,
I was
now.
like, I'm still freezing, but I don't even care. Like, I mean, I'm probably freezing on my end, but I'm not freezing on anybody else's, so that's all that matters.
Do you know that I have, over the course of years, tracked things? If you have issues with a stream, if you have issues with starting an event or anything like that, that is a clear indication that it's about to be something big, something really, really good. And number
I
one,
agree.
we already got the confirmation that the topic that I came up with, you already was like, yes, yes, and yes with that. So we're gonna
Yeah,
move forward. Now, can you
absolutely.
can you please tell me how has your day been? What's been going on since we were together last week? Yes, Morgan's got a great laugh, y'all. You
Thanks,
gonna laugh at
guys.
everything. You gonna laugh it off. What's the point? Hey, why should we get mad? Like it is what it is.
Exactly.
You know what? This makes us even more human and real. It's not scripted. It's just we gonna do what we gonna do, and it is what it is. Yeah.
I'm
Pax,
sorry.
sit
I'm
down.
looking.
I know Pax is over
Thank
there
you. I
cutting
was like,
stuff.
I'm glad you knew what was going on. Pax is apparently trying to get out the house, and
Oh wow.
all of the kids are out of the house.
Pax, sit down and be still. See, this is why I don't have a pet because this pet will be getting a spanking just like kids do. Just sit down somewhere. You moving too much.
He's just as bad as the
Oh
kids,
my gosh.
literally.
So I'm gonna let you talk a little bit because clearly I just need to chill out and get myself together for a moment.
And apparently, me sitting down here kind of like cooled off things for me. I should have
I'm
been
gonna,
sitting in this seat all day trying to do some work. So I was telling April earlier, guys, I was like, I don't know what's going on. I was like, I don't have a fever. I'm not sick. But for some reason, I am just extremely hot to the point where I put my air on today.
mm,
And it's
that's hot.
68 degrees outside. So it's not like it's hot. I mean, it's warmer than it has been. But it was just one of those things. Let's see. Since the last time, I feel like it's been kind of uneventful. Except for, um getting ready for our trip. Me and the boys are this will be Noah's first plane ride and
And
Josiah's
you
first
are
time
gonna
out of the
take him.
country.
You're gonna take him through it on the first ride. Oh my god.
Listen,
You know what?
just
I should have sent
throw them in
you.
there. Throw them
I
in there.
see, I have something from Envision You that I'm going to send you. When are you leaving?
2 weeks.
I
Yeah.
want to send you something that you're going to give him right before he gets on the plane that's going to help him relax. Two things that's going to help him relax
Okay.
while he's on the plane because my poor baby, my nephew.
He is so excited. He is so excited. Like so
Okay,
excited.
excited.
Look, I need to know. Ask your people. Is it good for dogs? Because if we do get a chance to be able to take packs with us, then the question is,
But it's all
I begged.
natural. It's
Oh, so
all
it should be so. So I'll
yeah.
just look at the ingredients and make sure it's just nothing that, dogs technically can't have.
Right,
Apparently they
right.
have lists of things. But other than that, like he's the one I'm actually worried about. And I'm like, dang. I was
Mm,
thinking about it. I was like, what would it be like if I had to be in a box for like 20 hours?
yeah, I don't. That's about to be something serious. That's about to be some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
One. Go ahead,
hey.
Tevis.
Hello,
Hello.
hello.
Oh, look at there. We can see and
Can,
hear you.
I was saying,
Yes,
can you see and hear me?
I
yes,
can. It's a win
clearly.
today for real, bro.
Yeah.
Yes. We are
Well,
here. Forgive my back. If you forgive me if you hear background noises, I'm just getting off of work, but hey, I'm here.
good. Well, you
Yes.
definitely can join in with this So we want you to join in with the conversation today, and then come back at the end, which was what next week, right? Next 2 weeks.
No, two weeks from now. Yeah,
2 weeks
2 weeks from now. Yeah.
from
Well, no,
Okay.
three
today.
weeks from now. Yeah.
No, two. We
Well,
already
I'm
at the
happy to be
yeah,
here.
whatever it is,
Yeah. Look, so
whatever.
I was like, we wanted you to initially come on because we wanted you to get a chance at least to introduce yourself because you didn't get a chance to introduce yourself last week. Tell the people who you
Yes.
are. Let them see your handsome face and say, "Hey guys, like I'm
Oh,
one of
this
the
whole
guys
thing.
on the he said she said." I'm saying,
I was
Yes,
about to
yes.
say
Tevis.
something really slick, but I'm gonna leave that alone. I'll
Oh,
say
I
that.
said keep going. I was. Y'all will see. I am all with it. I am so for it. Get slick if you
Oh,
want to. I was.
no, Morgan knows what I was going to say. That's why I'm gonna leave it alone. But he and I have already had our side conversations. I'm gonna leave that
Oh,
alone.
sidebar note. Okay.
yes, yes,
In
yes.
regards
So
to
I was like,
you,
so yes, Tell the people. So yes, I was like, tell the people who you are. Let them know a little bit about yourself. I was like, I mean, let us know if you want us to do a little formal interview as far as you're concerned. But yeah, I was like, let them know who you are, where you're
All
based.
right, well, I could do that. Well, I said I'm Kevis Fitz. I'm not that much to me. I'm really simple. I'm a jeweler by day, musician by night. I do a lot of writing, videography. Um, Cooking is one of my side passions. I just live a simple life. There's not much to me.
Don't
I
say
just
How
go
you
that.
how you leave
through.
that cooking bit out, bro?
well,
I said, how'd you
I mean,
leave
it's
the
again, it's
cooking bit
just
out?
well, because I hardly ever be in the kitchen. So, but when I am in there, I do that. What I say, I am a chef by trade. Well, and I just got tired of it at some point in time, but I keep it in my back pocket. That's one of my biggest passions, and I just don't do it professionally. So I had to get back to doing something that I enjoyed and working on the clock. It took the fun out of it, so I had to step back and reevaluate if I really loved it or not. And when I stopped doing it, I missed it, so that's how I knew I loved it.
Yeah. Now
Right.
that
Well,
will
we're gonna have
be
to
a
have a
show.
sidebar conversation with all of the times where I need some extra hands and we always looking for a real chef.
Mm, you just put
Yeah,
yourself
chef
Look,
by
out
now
trade.
there.
I'm about to
I
put you on the deliciously dope roster then, bro. Like, this is real.
listen. I flex
Just
on my cooking abilities. Put me in the kitchen with anybody. I don't care. Let's go.
Okay, then.
okay.
Now
Okay. Look,
I
I
like
leave in
what
2 weeks. I'm gonna put you to that.
and she will do that. You better be ready because she will do that. Yeah.
Oh,
Yes. Oh,
absolutely.
okay. Absolutely. Oh, I'm so excited.
I like
Yay.
what you said. You said that you had to you got tired of it, so you had to step away to see if that was
Hmm.
really what you wanted to do. And then you missed it to know this is what you want to do. You know, a lot of people
Yes.
in life, they just keep going and they get burnt out, not realizing you
Hmm.
do have the chance or the decision or choice to take a step back to even see
Hmm.
if this is what you want to continue on. Like people end up doing 2 or 3 careers in their lifetime. So if you are
Hmm.
running, step back, take a break. Do you
Yeah.
miss it? Or are you happy you are away from it? So I'm glad you realized I do love this. I just was a little
Yeah.
tired. I was a little burnt out. So that's a good thing.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
all it
The
was.
food
Just
industry
got
will
exhausted
definitely.
sometimes.
Yeah. And don't
Absolutely.
say that there's not much to you, sir. There's plenty to you. Don't
Yeah.
we speak well of ourselves. We do a little this. We're humble. We're not
Hmm.
boastful or arrogant, but we never say anything like, "Oh, I'm just, regular." We are not regular. We are not. We are not.
Well,
So,
like I
Absolutely.
dabble in a
Absolutely.
multitude. I dabble in a multitude of things. I should say that.
okay, I like that better. I like that better.
Yeah.
Very much so. Very much so.
See, Kevis is
Absolutely.
going to be on with us periodically as he can, and I'm going to enjoy
Yeah.
all of it. So it'll be good to have a male perspective on everything, even if it goes against what Morgan and I think and how we feel. But
Hmm.
that's what makes it interesting. Like challenge me, have something to say other than yeah, you're
Absolutely.
right. No, you're wrong. I don't. I don't believe
Yeah,
that.
I said that is definitely me. I am a you wrong type of person, and I'm also a I told you so type of person. I'm just like,
Oh, okay. So
yep.
noted.
Oh,
He
absolutely.
most definitely is, but he's so real. And
Mhm,
that's why I thought that, like adding him in would be such a great addition
mhm.
because he's real and but his delivery is very
Hey,
it's
Professor.
very well received. There's some people, like he said, who can be I told you so and have a whole
Yeah.
lot to say, but then it turns you off. You know what I mean? If nothing else, sometimes it makes you laugh. It makes you really appreciate it even more. You know what I
Right.
mean? It becomes banter. You might, where with somebody you might even feel like you want to start an argument, like you can't. You know
Right.
what? You right.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might just have to. I might just have to be quiet on this one because he might just actually
Mhm.
be right, Lord. You know what I mean? So
And
it's
again,
all good.
and I have no problem. I have no problem being wrong either. It's just like, all right, if you have a compelling enough argument to state your case, I'm like, all right, you got that. Touche. I'm still standing on what I believe, but I'm like, okay, at least my ears are open enough to at least
Right.
take in anything else that's said. So
I
Okay.
love that. I love that.
Well, tonight, the topic that we have tonight is invest in your people. And I was thinking about this today, and there's three areas that are really key for me when you invest in your people. One is in business. So we invest in our employees, we invest in our your coworkers of building them. You invest in people in ministry. At least that's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be putting in the time with them. And then also in education, invest in that. I have worked a number of areas where when I got there, the schools did not invest in the students to give them the quality education that they need. So I've always heard you have to spend money in order to make money. And yes, you can,
absolutely,
have all these students coming in and you're charging them out the wazoo for these programs that they're coming into and these degrees. But if you don't have what they need to help facilitate that, then you're doing them a disservice. You're pretty much ripping them off. You're taking their money and then they're leaving out with the bare minimum. So I thought about that and I was telling Morgan, I was thinking of that I was going to do my own live like tomorrow or later on, but I said, no, we're going to do this on the show today. Let's talk about this today. So invest in your people because also in business. So if you work for a company and if they don't invest in you, they don't provide continuing education, they don't provide a safe environment, which legally they have to, if they don't do things to make you feel appreciated, then what happens? You're like, I'm out of here. I'm going somewhere else because you're trying to work me like a dog, but you're not showing any appreciation. My mother owns a daycare center in Georgia, and been telling her that for years. I said, listen, every now and then you need to do something for your staff to let them know
hmm
that you appreciate them, the hard work, because it's not easy working with kids and multiples. Like I can't do it. I can't even stay at the daycare. Like I'm gonna be here 5 minutes and then I'm out of here because I don't want to catch a case with none of these kids up in here. But you have to invest in that. Give them what they need to teach, give them what they need to provide an environment that they want to come to work. They want to teach, they want to be around their coworkers. So that's what business, ministry, and educational institutions. That's what we're going to talk about today. So y'all
Yeah.
just jump in. Don't let me sit here talking.
Well, I was like, I'm definitely big as far as that investment in business. And I think the first time that and obviously not in the other areas as well, but I remember when I first started selling paparazzi, that is the first time I realized how necessary it is to invest in other people. And it was like when you are working at MLM or, a lot of those building type of
Mhm.
businesses, um, it's important for you to invest in the people that are signing up underneath you, not
Mhm.
because, oh, you get that extra check that's cut. But here's the thing, if you don't help them build their business, then yours still ultimately fails.
Absolutely.
yes,
And it's
I
the same
agree.
exact thing when it comes to, like, an employee. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like, you as the employer technically need the employee. The employee
Mhm.
doesn't need you. They can go somewhere else. They can find other employment, but you
Right.
can't have a business and just do everything by yourself unless it is one of those just small businesses and you plan on staying small, a one man band. But even as a one
Mhm.
man band, you get tired, you get frustrated. There's plenty of times where I know I wake up and I'd be like, yeah, let me go get that 9 to 5 back. And I'd be like, wait a minute, but these people aren't investing in me. If nothing
Mhm.
else, right now I'm investing in myself. So, you know what I mean? At least it still works like that. And right now, I know as my business is starting to grow, I see how necessary it is to invest in my people, because there's a brand that we're trying to grow. You know,
Mm-hmm.
there are, when you say, when you own a business, again, because people are buying into you, you know what I mean, people know you and your reputation. But if you're bringing other people in, then you have to keep that continuity in there. So if
Yes.
you're not making sure that they, as a person on the professional level and then also on the personal level, are being invested in, they're able to bring their best self, and you really cultivate what they bring to the table. Like, just like all three of us bring something different to this.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
so it
Yes.
makes sense for us to then be able to pour individually into each other, so that we, collectively come together as an amazing unit. But then too,
Mm-hmm.
individually, we're able to shine. So I feel like that's why it's, important, at least on a business level, to be
Mm-hmm.
able to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely is important to make sure that, yeah, when it comes to, especially when it comes to business, that you, first of all, you got to realize that you can't do everything by yourself, no matter how talented you are, or no matter how many resources that you have. You're like, there's no way that you're able to manage everything all at once.
Mm-hmm.
And there's always room for improvement. So sometimes you might have a certain skill set but not strong in another area, and this is when you lead on to these people, like other people who might have that insight and to continue to grow. And you never know where that may lead you, because like you develop them to get them to a point to help you, and then that it just comes like it's a trickle down effect. It's just like, like you plant that seed grows up and become a tree. That tree has multiple branches. From those branches, it produces leaves. Those leaves then feed everything else. So like that's that whole growth process when it comes to certain things. Um,
Right.
if you focus and cater on into to one specific area, it's not beneficial to anybody,
Mm-hmm.
no matter how talented or how good you are. Like there's other people that's around you. Whether it's they're working for you or it's the clientele bases that you're trying to reach. Like there's always somebody always needs to feel connected to whatever you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you sever those ties, sever those connections, there's no growth anywhere.
Right, right.
Yeah,
And that's and I
absolutely.
can definitely see that, planting the seed and then the tree grows and then the leaves, and if it's fruit, then the fruit are coming and you start to see that and you're able to affect or help or reach a lot more people. Something else I was thinking about while y'all were talking about investing in your business, sometimes it requires us to buy software or equipment that will help our businesses grow, and we are looking at the dollar sign at that particular moment of, oh my goodness, this costs this much. But if you think about what will happen if you acquire this equipment or this software and how it's going to help you expand even more, you're going to make your return on that. And some business owners or business people don't think that, oh, there are grants, there's scholarships, there's money that's there, free money that I need to search for to help get that. Sometimes these organizations and corporations that are really big, they need a tax write-off. So why not
Hmm.
go and inquire about what you need and what you're going to use it for? And as long as it's not going to hinder what they're doing, then they can be all for it, because they got to have so much that they write off every year. Their taxes are going to be through the roof. So
Yeah.
investing in your business. So I think about with you with the paparazzi. I don't know what all equipment or whatever they send, but I've seen different reps have the where you can lay the necklace, the little things so you can lay the necklaces out, and some of them have been even a little bit more fancy with it. You may look and say, oh, that's a bit much, and where am I going to put that? But if you really want your business to grow, what is it that's going to make that distinction between you and another business that's like yours? Because they're going to
Yeah.
say, oh my goodness, Morgan got all this fancy stuff and she has her jewelry all laid out. And I'm like, dang, that looks good. I want that. So you made that investment, and look at all of the jewelry that you're going to sell that's going to pay for what you just got, you know?
Yep.
So we're
That's so
going to,
funny
Yes.
you say that. I just had that conversation with my partner today, actually. Um, because we were trying to figure out, like, what's the best way to structure where we're going, because she and I do a lot of the same things, but then she provides services that I don't. And she has skills that I don't, which is
Mhm.
why I'm like, yo, this works. Let's do something together,
Mhm.
kind of thing. I was like, so when we first met, we were both taking a doula training together, and she was about to actually get off of maternity leave. And she was like, hey, I don't know what the next like year of my life looks like, but I know I don't want to go back to work because I can't. And that's because at the time, she was committed to breastfeeding, and her job where she wasn't going to allow her to effectively do that once she went back to work. So she was like, I know I'm going to have to do something else. So she's like, I just want to do what you're doing. And I was like, okay, great. And I was like, come on. Now, it was funny because, and we laugh about this all the time, I had no idea what the heck I was doing. Like, none. So it was one of those like fake it till you make it kind of situations. But we are now almost 3 years in, and it's like we just like
Awesome.
sat and we laughed on Saturday, like, yo, we've made some serious strides here. We've really like made some real moves in this business so far. And so was explaining to her, I was like, putting you in the space of vendor and independent contractor is getting her to a point where she can be able to move into this space of actually running the business. Because at first she was like, yeah, no, she and I are polar opposites as far as personality is concerned. She likes to be very much in the background. She is a doer. Of course, I am like, I'm upfront, I'm the sell, close the deal kind of person. So the two of us, we play very well off of each other, but at the same time, I am now not only just personally pouring into her, but then as you were talking about education, I was like, if you need to do another class so that that adds another service to what we offer for people, then let's do it. Because the business has got X, Y, and Z revenue that's coming in. That's what the point of it is. You know what I mean? When you own a business, you get to spend the money first and then pay the taxes on whatever's left. So let's go spend this money on this end, because I know
Yes.
once you get this is going to yield all of that. Fine. What do you need? You need an extra pill machine so that we can do some more placentas. You need an extra blah blah blah. Well, guess what? We just got a paycheck in. Let's go and order X, Y, and Z that you need. We'll work out how that ends up coming back as far as on the
Yes.
business personal end of things. But for me, that's an investment. That's another person who can process just as many placentas as I can. So now we are doubling the revenue of our business just because of that. And because she has the same exact skill set, and then she also brings some other stuff to the table, I'm like, listen, folks can you can have the same services, but I guarantee you don't do what Beyond Birthing does. And
Mhm.
that,
Yeah.
I mean, you don't. So I was like, being able to invest in other people, being able to see what someone else brings to the table, and then say, okay, you know what, how can I make them better? How can I give them an opportunity to be able to still advance? A lot of the times, jobs don't do that extra education, or a lot of those times, people will just educate and drop you,
Mhm.
Hmm.
because at the end of the day, they're scared that the person that's in that space is going to end up taking your place.
Yeah.
What's up? Yeah,
And
I
me
definitely
as
agree with
a
that.
as a program manager, like, I love what I do, because I'm sitting here and I'm like helping cultivate all these different doula businesses locally. And people are like, why are you doing that? Like, that's competition. No, it's not. It's more, listen, there are
Hmm.
so many people out here having babies. I would rather there be 15, 20, 75 doulas that are out
Yeah.
here doing a lit job than to have
Mhm.
75 doulas out here doing a subpar job. Okay?
Right.
Because that ain't it.
Agreed.
So why not invest in these people? Why not? Why pit, what is it? When people, what, like, gatekeep
Mm-hmm.
information
Hmm.
Yeah.
that's going to really allow us, because gatekeeping is real right now. A lot of people, nah, I'm not telling you that. Oh, I can't tell you all my secrets. Well, why not? What you scared of?
Yeah.
Right.
Because still, when you come to the table, you gonna be you. You know what I mean? I can't
Mm-hmm.
listen. As much swag as you got, I can't be you, Keith. It's like I can't.
That's
So
it.
like, who am I to keep you from still being great? Just because what? I'm
Yeah.
scared that you're gonna take my place. No, we all got a time to shine. There's enough space for all of us. So you know what I mean? Like, let's help bring each other up so that we can continually grow, especially when it comes to the community.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to the community.
Definitely
Absolutely.
agree with that. Like to be honest, I was like, I don't want to be in the limelight all the time. I was like, I want to develop other people to eventually take my spot. I don't want to hold that position forever. That's one of those things. I
Yes.
want to see this like I want to see things to continue to grow, continue to get better, continue to show improvements. Because again, I don't know everything. Somebody might like I might show somebody something, and then they might take that information and use it in a way that I've never even thought of. I'm like, wait, how'd you come up with that? It was like, well, that's what you showed me. I'm like, well, I never thought about doing it that way. Show me how you did
Right.
that again.
Yeah.
Now I said, now you teaching me. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, so
Yes.
show me how you did
Yes.
that. How did you come to that conclusion?
Right.
And let's
Yeah.
continue to keep doing that and keep going it on. And as we pass it on, though, like that information just keeps growing and getting bigger. And it's like it's helping and saving a lot more people that way.
Yeah.
I
You know,
agree.
I
I
like
agree.
that you said that to pour into other people because you don't want to be in the limelight. You don't want to be at the top forever. At some point in time, you want to retire and go sit on an island somewhere and chill and let somebody else take it
Yeah.
on. This former church organization that I was in was notorious for not doing that. Like you would have pastors that would be in their position until they were 100 instead of
Yeah.
passing it on to someone who was younger with new innovative ideas to make the ministry grow and to expand and not just stay at the same group of people that they had been servicing for 30 years. But instead, they would hold on to it and then they would get up to try to preach or teach. And you're sitting there like, huh?
Hmm.
What?
And
When
then
you
wonder
got
why
a
the pews is
roster
empty.
you got a
Yeah.
roster of capable, smart, gifted, anointed men and women who could get up there and take it and run with it. But you just want to, it's mine. I'm gonna hold on to it. I'm the pastor. Okay, I'm out. Y'all take
Yeah.
that. I'm gone. You you're not investing in your people, and they're coming to church like, what is this? What's going on here? And
Yeah.
I
Nothing.
will not stay in a non-progressive place. I will not. I won't. Yeah.
Yep.
I've
Agreed with
never really
that. I
thought
mean, like
about that. Yeah. Go
it
ahead.
is. I like that's honestly another way. That's the fastest way of turning people off from whatever information that you're trying to get them because like now they don't feel like it's relatable. Then they don't care at all. Anything like even though like, they might still believe in it, but it's just like it's not resonating with them because it was again like there's such a big gap in between how they were brought up and what they were taught, and their interpretation of it is just not the same. So
Right.
yeah, having a new mind in there will be able to reach those people that you just can't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good there about having a different perspective because I have had to undo a lot of things that I was taught growing up that they said was wrong. And now that I've
Hmm.
done my own reading, my own research, or listened to someone who had a different perspective or had a new insight, was like, but wait a minute, that wasn't even wrong. Like I'm up
Yeah.
here scared to death that I should do that because this is going to happen. And they're like, what are you talking about? This it's not even that way. So you're doing your people who come in and day out, and you expecting them to give not only of their money, but of their time, of their resources for what? A brick wall? Like I'm not going to share that stuff and it's just going to hit the wall, and I don't see any fruits of that. Why? Why would I do that
Yeah.
when I come over here and they want your ideas? They want to partner with you for the growth so everybody can get help. And Morgan, you talked about the community. That's what it's about. It's about the community. So if you invest in your people, whether it's in ministry, whether it's in business, it spreads to the community and it can ignite other people who didn't think they were capable enough to do stuff. Now you have
Hmm.
ignited them so much that those creative ideas that they've had that they never said anything about, they never did anything about, now they feel more comfortable to do it because there are people that are pouring and investing in the community. They're investing into them. And so now it helps them to thrive. I
Yeah.
I'm that type of person. Like, let me just help you in my field. So my students have to do a clinical rotation in the hospital, and I have seen this for the 20 years I've been teaching. I send students to a facility, and they get a preceptor who's supposed to walk them through, what's going on in the operating room, with the surgeon that they're working with, what they like and don't like. But they are gatekeepers because they feel like, oh, you're here to try to take my job. And why? There's like 1,000 plus and millions of positions for surgical technology across the United States. If you lose your job to me, it's because you were horrible and they were just waiting for someone more capable to come in.
Yes.
And they're going to take what they've been building up on you and put you out and put me in. And so now you're going to think that I came in to steal your position, and that's not the case. So then my students, whom I have to move to a different preceptor or a different location because you have the surgical technologists who don't want to teach because they want to give them just minimal. They don't want to let them have the experience because it's like, no, you're gonna come and take my job. No. I don't even want to
No.
work at the hospital. I want to move to a different state. So you worried for nothing. So you're not investing in
Exactly.
me. You're not pouring into me for me to take this to another state, for me to say, hey, Morgan taught me over in Delaware. And so now your name gets spread around. So in a sense, you're hurting yourself because your name could be out there and it won't go out
Mm-hmm.
there because of how you did that person.
But remember, it
So
all boils down to ego. And we've talked
yeah,
about how
Yes.
ego really hurts a lot of things. Like, ego really doesn't serve anything. It doesn't
right.
serve yourself personally, it doesn't serve others. Like, it really is, it's damaging more than anything. And I think that one thing that you said, or that really stuck out, was the fact that there's a lot of people that aren't given opportunity.
Ooh.
And so then that's what keeps people in a box sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember working at
Thank you.
uh how long was I there? I don't know. I worked at a job from like 18 to 25. Yeah, 18 to 25. And I remember my dad was like, why are you leaving this job? Like, you know what I mean? I feel like you keep hopping from one place to another place. In the food industry, that's a good look because you don't want to be in the same place for too long because then it looks like, one, you don't have any ambition, and two, you haven't learned anything because you've been in the same space doing the same thing and doing the same thing only one way. You know what I mean? Every kitchen, there's certain
Yes.
things that, you know what I mean, across the board stays, but there is a different way of doing certain things. You know what I mean? You've got different chefs who've got different things that are going on or require different things, or, you know what I mean? The menu is different. Like, so it was what it was. And I remember that I left that job because they wanted me to just stay in the space of being a bartender, a server, and a shift manager.
Mm.
And I was like, I can do this with my eyes
Mm-hmm.
closed. Like, I'm bored. So, can
Yeah.
I be an assistant kitchen manager? Can I get a GM position? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Can I
Let me
learn
try my
something
hand at
new?
something else. Yeah, exactly. I want to learn something new. And they would not let me. And it was like, well, you don't have, your resume doesn't. Well, I mean, how is my resume going to get to what you're looking for if you keep me in this space right here? So I
Yeah.
had to
Exactly.
leave a really good company. It's funny because I don't think that the owner, when you talk about like chains, the owner didn't know that because that's not the way that he specifically was running the train,
Mm-hmm.
running the chain, but it was the specific location that was just keeping everybody in the same space. And so I was like,
Yes.
okay, well, let me go somewhere else. The moment I went to a rival chain, no less, I was like, yo, what? They do this here? I was like, this is like the most perfect, in the most perfect world. Like,
Mm-hmm.
everybody's happy. I'm sorry, it was like one of the best jobs I ever had. And I was upset because I was like, "Dag!" At the time I ended up being pregnant with Josiah, so I ended up having to take some time off. And I even considered after I had him going back because I was like, that job had a lot of space to grow. There was a lot of
Mm,
different places you can be in. Even when I worked at Whole Foods, like I love the fact that the way that Whole Foods, I don't know if it's still like this because obviously the owners changed, but the way
yeah.
that they work is you can move to any area that you want to. So I got hired in the prepared food section because they needed a caterer. But at the time, the guy who was working in deli ended up slicing part of his finger off. So he was out, right?
Mm.
So they were like, well, can you like fill in there? I had never done that before. So I was like, cool, y'all just show me. I mean, I'm a quick learner. So show me whatever you want me to do.
Yeah.
And I got it. 6 months in, I was like, all right, y'all, you didn't hire me for this. And that man's not back. And I'm ready to do something else now. Like, I mean, I'm all of 5 feet tall and I feel like I need a stool to really get in with this, prosciutto. Like, so I'm like, let me do something else. But I had the option of moving to the meat department because I was like, I really want to learn how to make sausage. And they were like, okay, go over to the meat department. As though, the
Yep.
moment we have an opening, you can go move over there. Then it was like, well, maybe I might want to go over to the seafood department because I want to know how to fillet a fish. All right, go over there and go do that. Oh, you want to bake some crepes next? Go over there. Go to the bakery department. And it was like a cult. So I always say working at Whole Foods was like working at a cult, but it was like it wasn't a weird one. It was one where
No.
like it's so funny. There were engineers who had worked there like their engineering job for like 30 years. COVID happened. They lost their job. They started at Whole Foods and now it's like 5 years later, they're still here and they're like, I love this job. Everyone's walking
Mm.
around with like smiles on their faces. And I was like, are they drugging the water? Like, what's going on? Like,
Like,
everyone's happy.
Mhm.
And it was just because there was so much opportunity for growth.
Mhm.
There were a lot of opportunities for you to be able to learn different things. And for
Yeah.
me, I was like, that I feel like that opens up the doors for so many people. And
Mhm.
if
mm-hmm.
businesses could do that, if communities could start giving that option, I feel like we would see such a huge turnaround. I think that the work ethic would change.
Mhm.
I
Absolutely.
think that productivity would change.
Yep.
I think the work life balance would change. I think people's personal overall well being would like
Mhm.
increase because I feel like
Mm-hmm.
most of us are like, oh, I got to go to this job again tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, if
Yeah.
it wasn't for the fact that
We
I
all
needed
do that.
money, I wouldn't be doing this. You know what I mean? So I feel like that opportunity is so key, and
Mhm.
especially to those people who, because as you don't know how people grow up, and when you're raised in a
Mhm.
place where sometimes it's just based on survival, that doesn't give you a whole lot of opportunities.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
No.
When you're when you only have a small space for certain things, that doesn't give you a whole lot of opportunity either. So, being able to meet people from different places, like you were saying in the beginning, Keep, it's like different perspectives. All of that allows people to be able to grow and develop and
Mm-hmm.
honestly, figure out who their best selves are, whatever version that is, because we're always growing anyway, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Most people won't even realize what they're capable of if they never are given a chance to.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, is like when you first did it, it's like, well, I never did this before. There's a like everything that we've ever done in our lives, we have never done before.
Yeah.
There's a first time. There's literally a first time for everything we tried, and sometimes we excel of it, not even knowing that we had that skill to begin with. It was never
Mhm.
utilized. It was never fully developed, or it may have been held back from some other people who were threatened by like your potential. Um,
Mhm.
There were certain, like we're speaking about being in the culinary world. Yeah, because of my background, there were certain times I had to start taking things off of my resume just so it would even be, just to even get an interview.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm,
there was a new restaurant that was coming in, and the manager at the time, she was a little young, her first manager position, and she was, building up her new staff, and I got brought in. And I found out the reason why I never got a call back was because when the district manager saw my resume, it was like, oh yeah, we need this guy. Like, and I wasn't applying for like a back end where low key, like out of the way. But because of my skill set, it was kind of held back. I'm just like, yo, we could have worked wonderfully together. Like,
mhm.
you could go ahead and have the manager position. I'm like, just tell me what you need me to do, and know that you don't have to worry about me getting it done. Um, like I was like, I could have made you look good. I could have trained other people like behind you. Like it could have been like a lot of things that went on, but because of that, like I wasn't even given a fair shot.
Yeah,
So it was, I'm like, yeah, you just don't know what the capabilities of anybody, like anybody has. Uh, like and when I was in management positions, I would hire people with no experience. They were my favorite people to hire because they were
Me
willing
too.
to learn, they were willing to grow, and they were willing to test themselves.
hmm,
Like of course I needed a veteran on hand, like in case when something went down. But like to have somebody learn something new, like to see that excitement, that willingness to go up on to try something different. And again, like you may stay with this job forever, but take what you learn and move it somewhere else.
right. And
And
then
when you
and then they have
cultivate
those,
those new people too, that's when you get to see people blossom. You know what I
right.
mean?
Yeah.
Especially those who've never done something. And then that sense of pride in
Hmm.
themselves, like, oh
Mhm.
yo, I really just did that. Then that really
Yeah.
fosters, a want to do more, a want to do better. And obviously, they, as well as the business, get to benefit from that.
Right.
Yep.
Absolutely. And there's the growth and expansion in
Mhm.
your business because you've allowed people to blossom. You've allowed them to get into different areas. In surgery in hospitals, a lot of them have teams, surgical teams. So you could be on the pediatrics team, you could be on orthopedic, you could be on neurosurgery. And students always ask me about that. And I'm like, well, my opinion is this: don't pigeonhole yourself into one specialty, because if you can
Mhm.
do all surgeries and all specialties, you become way more marketable because they're going to see, oh, she
Yeah.
can do any of these surgeries, and they'll be quicker to hire me as opposed to, and I'm not, now this is not going to be a knock against labor delivery because I love labor delivery, but however, if you're a
Mhm.
surgical technologist and all you've done for 10, 15 years is C-sections, you're not going to you won't be at the top of the list for a level 1 trauma center where they get all kinds of
Right.
cases in. You're not. So I tell people I want to do it all, and I've done that for 20 years. Nope, I'm not going to be on this team. I want here, I want there, I want it all. The one place that I don't like to go into is hearts. I don't want to do anything with hearts. It's boring. But everything else I do it because I want that resume, because I like to do travel assignments. So when I travel and they look at my resume, they look at all the experience. When a hospital needs a travel surgical technologist, I'm gonna be top on the list because I can come in running. They don't have to train me. I don't have to go through
Mhm.
orientation. They just put me in a room and let me fly. But if I'm doing the
Yeah.
same tonsillectomies every week, same stuff for year in, year out, when it's time to go do take out someone's appendix, like I don't even know, remember the anatomy, like what's there, what instruments am
Yeah.
I going to use? Now I'm shortchanged myself. Yeah, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah. Like yeah,
because
you
people
box
want to
yourself
always
in.
be fit. Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. Yeah, I'm
Absolutely.
not going to do that.
Absolutely.
So
Yep.
invest in your people for business. Invest in your business. I think if we were to invest in people and cultivate them like that, that it would, the entrepreneurship numbers in the world would increase, because that's what we all, you, someone was saying about going to the 9 to 5, like, do I really want to do that again? No. So what's the next best thing? What is it that drives you, motivates you, pushes you, excites you, that you can create a business from? And if we invest in our people, then we don't have to worry about these 9 to 5s that we hate. They're like, I do not want to go to this job today. I don't want to deal with these people. And then you wake up one morning like, wait a minute, I don't have to. I own the business, and it's
Yeah.
doing well. So you make your own hours. You do it the way you want to, and your stress level goes down. Like, one thing that I've noticed with teaching now, and I love to teach, I love it now. Like, I have these past 3 weeks developed this twitch in my eye, and I could like, what is this? And I think, Morgan, I don't know if I was talking to you or Snow, I was talking to Dr. V, and she was like, April, that's a stress response, right? And like, I started tracking it. So every time I talked about some issues I was having, then my eyes started twitching, like, you know what? I got to build my businesses up so I can just do the deuces to this. Like,
Yeah.
I cannot keep doing that. So if I invest in me and what I've learned, like over the years, learned so much in my field, so much so that I started a consulting business. I need to put all my efforts, everything that I've learned, experienced, and developed throw that into that business and just drive it. That way I don't have to worry about stuff that's gonna upset me. I just focus on the stuff that I love and do that. Now, don't get me wrong. I love to teach. I love it. But I dealing with some people, dealing with
Yeah.
people like that who don't want to learn
Mm.
and who want to give you grief. Like, why am I doing that? I got a businesses. Let me just deal with that. So,
Exactly. Well, look, I'm gonna tell you that the word that I got 2 weeks ago is the money is in the consulting.
mm,
Mm.
So, yes, the money
mm,
is in consultation. So, because of what you know,
mm-hmm,
and there is actually more tax write offs
mm-hmm.
and benefits
Yeah.
from being a consultant than it is
Wow.
even just being a plain old business owner. And what
Really?
I've realized is a lot of the things that I have been doing over the last year actually fall into that consulting
Wow.
space. And I'm
Wow.
like, okay, so now I'm sitting here and about to invest some money to say, hey, teach me how to then
Mm-hmm.
change this part of my business. Because I love,
Mm-hmm.
like you said,
Right.
I love what I do, but I also know that I'm very, very good at the consultation part
Mm-hmm.
too.
Yeah.
And because that brings me a whole lot less stress and it
Mhm.
allows me to be even more flexible
Yeah.
with my schedule, with my time, be able to
Mm-hmm.
give my kids more stuff, like as far as the time is concerned,
Right.
like, why wouldn't I
Yeah.
want to do that? I just saw something the other day that said, that the traditional household, in the sense of, the male goes out to work, on that 9 to 5, the woman is at home, on the in the homemaker front, and waiting for him to get home and tending to the children, kind of thing, after they come home from school or before they go to school, that kind of thing. That hasn't always been the case.
Mm-hmm.
That only actually came about in 1940.
Wow.
So before that, everyone was working from home. That
Mm.
included the children.
Mm.
Homeschooling your kids
Mm.
allows you 16,000 more hours with your kids.
Yeah, that's a
That
lot.
sounds crazy. That's a lot of time. But at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, imagine if we had that time with our kids, we wouldn't have a whole lot of craziness.
Behavioral issues. People,
Yeah.
Exactly.
kids, people
Wouldn't
in
have
jail.
shootings. We wouldn't.
Yeah.
And I,
Exactly.
and the
Exactly.
pandemic was the best example of that. Like
Yes.
when everybody was actually at home raising their
Mm-hmm.
children, and the children that were born during that time period, they're like, oh, they developed so fast and they're this. I'm like, no, you actually had time to raise your own children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I
develop their
like to say
skill
those
set, you
jobs are
develop their knowledge.
distraction.
Yeah.
It absolutely is.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
100%
It
is.
is.
I think about
Mm-hmm.
how it was in my household when COVID hit and we all had to stay in, and we did so much together. There was so much fun, so much laughter. Ariel was little, but what was that? 4 years ago, 5 years, 4 years ago. So
5 years
she
ago,
did.
yeah.
She was
Five,
like
yeah.
5, 6 years old at that time. So to be home with her older siblings and be able to interact with them and us do stuff together, like it was like a party every single day. And I use all kinds of stuff as teachable moments. And they're like, Mom, really? Yes, this is fun. A teachable moment. But a lot of people did not take advantage of that like they should have. Do you
Yeah,
know
Hmm.
how we could have
exactly.
done so much in our lives around during that time? Like if you just get over the shock of, oh my God, what's going on with this world, to, oh, I'm home with my family. Let's do something. Let's build. Let's
Yeah.
progress. Let's plan. Let's get this going. Like if I had really, and my concern at the time was not my own kids because you're here with me, so I'm tending to you here. But I was worried about my students. Like, oh my God, they were in their clinical rotation. They got kicked out, and they're all up in a tizzy. Like, oh, let me try to get them calm. When I should have just said, you know what, we're gonna do it the way we need to do it. I had already developed the online plan, and it was fine. Let me focus on my consulting business that I had, but I wasn't doing anything with. Imagine if
Hmm.
in 2020 I utilized all that time I had at home to invest in me and my
Yeah.
business, where I would be now 4 years later. But I wasn't
Yeah.
thinking on that then.
Well, remember, people are also scared to
Yeah.
have to do the
Yes.
inner work, to have to sit with themselves, because you're right. The COVID was a great thing, but it also was a horrible thing for a lot of people. The
Hmm.
people who
Hmm.
didn't want to do the work, the people who didn't want to be real, the divorce rates went up like tremendously. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
The children who didn't have the greatest parents, that was not the greatest time. Because
Hmm.
sometimes
Right.
going to school was that reprieve. Sometimes going to school was
That was
how
their
they ate.
escape. Yeah.
Sometimes how when they went to school, that was their escape from, abuse. You know what I
Right.
mean? So it was like it was a very weird time, but if people really got a chance to really just sit with themselves for a minute, I think they would have been able to cultivate something different. I think they would have been able to really see certain things that they were made of. Or, it's like when our kids turn around and they're like, "Oh, I'm bored." Well, I can give you
Hmm.
something to do. And once it's
Yeah.
like, okay, yeah, no, 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 never mind. And now you got to go find something. Next thing you know, you had no idea that you were artistically gifted. You had no
Hmm.
idea that
Hmm.
you would actually sew or, get into crocheting. You had no idea that you really like to read. Like I had a girlfriend who unfortunately just passed, and she was an
My
avid reader.
condolences.
Like avid reader. I knew nobody like in a matter of like 3 months read like 400 books. And
Jeez.
that's what COVID did. Yeah, she was that. And it was funny because I met her online with this other group of women. We were all mothers, and we literally would spend every waking moment together on the phone. So our kids were inundated in what we were doing. We were constant, like we just stayed like this on the phone all the time. You know what I mean? Kids come through, boyfriends, husbands come through. Hey, how you doing? All types of conversations. Everybody's in it. You know what I mean? We chastising the kids from across, you know what I mean? From across the screen kind of thing. And we used to start laughing at her because there was a point where she wouldn't answer when we call. And then we would text her and we were like, "What you doing?" And she'd be like, "Reading." And she would start avoiding us because she was reading. And she was like, "I'm sorry, I just can't put this book down."
Wow.
So
Like I
it
gotta
was
finish
like
this
it
shit.
became a goal. Yeah, it became a goal. So it's one of those things. I did like it. I like the fact that even now stuff isn't still open 24 hours and fully accessible to people. I don't know. First time I
Hmm.
ever was exposed to that was going to Italy. And everybody goes home in the middle of the day for a siesta.
Mhm.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Stuff shuts down. Kids leave from school. Everybody goes home. They eat together. Then they go back. And then the shops close down at 6, 7 o'clock. The only thing that's open may be a couple of restaurants. And there's only a few people here and there that are actually out and not at home with their families. And that's why their living experience and their life expectancy is so much greater than here,
Mhm.
because they're
Hmm.
just they're not living to work, they're just working to live, and then
Yeah.
they've got
Yeah.
the rest of a whole life to then be able to look forward to,
Mhm.
so yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think our country needs to take a page out of this book and get some non-old folks, some new blood, different perspectives to things so that we can start doing
Mhm.
some stuff differently. Because honestly, we've been
Yeah.
doing the same thing, the same song and dance for hundreds of years now. And I think a lot of us are kind of just tired of it.
Yeah.
We
I know
definitely
I am. I'm
need
too.
that because
What were
definitely
you
Go ahead.
saying?
again we box ourselves in as a country. Like, do you realize
Yeah.
most people never leave the state that they're born in? Like on
Right.
average, it's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
70% of people have not seen outside of their state, which is insane to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and you were saying like that, like the time spent with kids, like being homeschooled. Like the average American rarely sees their own family.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like it's just
Absolutely.
it's work,
And
Yeah.
work,
how do
work.
you
There's
grow
like
as a
there's
family if you're staying in the same 2 block radius?
Yeah. I
yeah.
I don't like having to move as much as because of all the packing and the moving trucks. However, when I think back on it, just from we talking about that. When I think back on all the places that I've lived in the U.S., all the places that I've traveled, I'm even more appreciative at this very moment because of the new perspective, the new culture, the new way of doing things. Like I learned a lot from living in different places. I know what I like, what I don't like. I don't like the cold. I don't like the snow. However, if I gotta live in it, I gotta live in it. I know what to do.
Hmm.
Extreme heat. I know how to live in that. I know how to get involved in different types of organizations and communities and get involved with stuff like that. But I would not have known if I had stayed in the city that I grew up in. When I go back
Hmm.
home to visit, and the same people that are still there, like you don't go live anywhere else. And they're always like, April, oh my God, you'll just pick up and move anywhere. I absolutely will. And when my time comes to leave
Absolutely.
Panama City, I'm packing it up and I'm out of here. I might gripe and complain because now I got to pack. Now I got to get the movers and all this kind of stuff. But the excitement of what am I going to learn at this new place? What are they doing in this new town, in this new community that I'm going to benefit from? What is it that I have been invested into and poured into that now I can take to this community and then share that? And wherever they are, help them get to the next level. I realize that
Yeah.
everywhere that I've been on assignment. It's not, and I'm thinking, oh, I'll go for a job. Yeah, that's my cover story. I literally go on assignment, and I didn't realize that until I began to think back what my purpose was. When I went to South Dakota, like that wasn't on my bucket list of places to live. Like I remember seeing it on
That's
the
actually
map
on
when I
my.
was, just like I don't want to go there, but I went. But I was there on assignment for the students that were there. It was for them. And when they graduated and got their jobs and did all this stuff, I bounced because I was done. So because of investing in your people, you never know what mark they're going to leave of different areas. And if we don't invest in ourselves, we don't invest in our businesses, we don't invest in others, we limit other communities, other places from experiencing all of this. So it's vital that we do it. Like every day, the three of us, every day need to look for people that we can pour into, people that we can encourage, people we can uplift, people that we can lead in the right direction. Like if you want to start a business here, this is where I started. And this is how these are the areas that you can look into. Oh, or maybe I have connections to people that are in the sector that you want to go into. Here, let me get y'all connected. And so then now I
Hmm.
take myself out because you don't need me anymore. I've already connected you with the expert or with the person that can help take you to the next level. And so once you get to the next level with them, they introduce you to someone higher and you just going to expand. We don't do that. We just don't like we should. There are a select group of people that do that, but all of us aren't doing that because we're so concerned about they're going to do better than me. They're going to get higher than me. They're going to make more money than me. No, there's enough money for all of us to be at the top. It's too crowded at the bottom, which is
It's
where
too,
I
yes.
will not be. I want to be at the top where the eagles
Yes.
soar because they're all going to fly and they ain't flying on
Hmm.
top of each other. There's enough sky for all of us to fly
Plenty.
and be well. You know, at the
Yes.
bottom,
Yes.
it gets crowded. And so then you elbowing me and you pushing me. No, I need to be somewhere where I got my own space, you know, my own area to fly in. So,
I love
That's
that. I
that's
love
probably the
that.
best analogy I've heard to explain to sum that up. That, yeah, that's yes.
Yeah.
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 So,
Well, preach.
well, I'm
Like,
not going to get started doing that tonight. However, we have been on here. Kevis, can you
Yeah.
come on quite frequently and be with us on here? I just like the vibe
yes.
that us have together. We want to make sure we check your schedule. And we don't need you just on the he said, she said. Some of these other topics, you got some good perspective to bring in on that. So hopefully
I'm
by
about to
you,
say, yeah.
it will bring other men like, hey, I want to come on too. We'll see.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Like, that's a little, I was like, just let me know. I will always make myself available. Because again, as you were saying, investment, it was just like, all right, I know I might have some things going on, but I can also put some time to the side for that too as well. Like I made time to clock in. I can make time for this.
Okay, then.
Like,
And done.
Thank you, sir.
And
Thank
so,
you,
like,
and
sir.
since we already, I'm gonna put this out there. If you have topics that you like, you know what, yo, this will be good for us to discuss. Hit us up. Let us know. We don't want to. Me and Morgan don't. We don't want to be the only ones doing that. You have great ideas, great perspective. So definitely do that. We'd appreciate it.
oh, absolutely. I said, absolutely, absolutely. I said, look, I'm open to discuss literally any and everything.
Okay, that's what we
Because,
said. We said there's
Yep.
nothing off the table. We're talking about it all, even those things that some people may like. Oh, I'm clutching my pearls. That's what we're
Clutch
gonna
your
talk
pearls.
about it. You just
I,
clutch
yep,
those
look,
pearls. We're
uh, those are my favorite conversations.
oh my god.
Bet. Okay. So then when he's back on, I was like, we do have our special guest talking about DEI programs for next week. So then our following week, I was like, we'll have a nice pearl clutcher for you guys if you're ready.
Oh yeah. If they not ready, they better get ready because it's coming.
Get
It is
ready.
man. Well, we are at the end. I'm looking at the time like, oh yeah, we've had a good. This was good. This was really,
Yeah.
really good. I knew it with all the technical difficulties. It had to be good today. So,
Oh
Kivas, thank
yeah,
you so much for being on with us. It has been a pleasure.
it was
And
a pleasure
every
being here.
Yes, and everyone that has come on and been watching, and we've seen some comments, but not all of them. Thank y'all for coming on. Y'all need to share this particular one out about investing in your people, investing, whether it's in business, whether it's in ministry, whether it's in education. You got to invest to give people the best experience possible because that's what's going to change what's going on in this world. We got to have some change. And it's going to start with the investment that we put not only in ourselves and our businesses, but in other people as well. So, y'all got any last minute words before I close this out?
No, I'm good.
No, I mean, you said that. I said the way you closed it was the best. I mean, look, I'm still thinking about being an eagle right now, flying in the sky, scoring.
That part. That part.
All right, y'all. So we're going to get out of here until next Monday. And I tell you, I'm excited about next Monday. Now, this has really amped me up. So now I'm going to have to go and calm myself down because I'm all amped because we had a good conversation. But on next Monday, on the same platform, it will be Morgan's page. We're gonna make that happen. It's gonna get to working. Morgan's page, my page, House of Peach page, all on Facebook, and we're on YouTube as well for House of Peach YouTube channel. So you'll be able to see it. I want to see you in the place. Well, not literally, but I want your comments in the place. That's how I'm gonna know that you're there. I want you in the place, and you gotta invite. You have to share every single Monday that we're here. So until next time, we shall bid you adieu. Have a wonderful evening and a fantastic rest of your week. And don't forget to invest in your people. All right. Bye, y'all.